just saying, we might as well keep the trend going. P-walk, 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 straddle putt for the par. Now let's go toss some plastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we find ourselves in kind of a special place. We are taking on the Vines in Ithaca, Michigan. This is a course that I've never even heard about, but it has great reviews. It has great written reviews on UDisc, and it's another beautiful, crisp Michigan morning. 41 degrees to be exact, and it happens so quickly up here in the north. But we have hole one, 260 feet, kind of a nice little warm-up hole, standard hyzer shot. I know this one's gonna hurt the arm quite a bit, but I'm really excited to get this round started. We are gonna go with a soft hex. All right. Hopefully that's perfect and we start off with a nice birdie. Let's get going. Well, we did sail the hex quite a bit deep, and to be honest with you guys, I was really nervous when I got up here because right behind the basket, if you hyzer too much, skip too much, you're skipping right into some water. That would have been a rough way to start the round, and to be honest, our putt's only about 32 feet, but I don't think it's makeable. This bush is just, unless we go through the bush, which I'll try, why not? It's not going in. Oh, it almost worked. It almost worked. That would have been a nice way to start. Hole 2, 220 feet, and we have another case of those very camouflage baskets that just kind of dull steel color, especially in the fall in Michigan. They are essentially invisible, but the basket more or less is dead straight, but we kind of need to go with a baby hyzer lane. So I'm gonna full send my champion Rhino. Slide up there. Ooh, sounded like a pretty solid thunk up there. Hopefully we have a putt. Rhino did not quite get the ground play that we were looking for, leaving us with a tricky Annie putt, probably around 25 feet for the 2. Nice putt. Hopefully we can maintain that the whole round. Hole 2, 200 feet. We have kind of a window we have to hit with this tee shot. Slight Annie the entire way. It's gorgeous how all of the trees are just growing sideways. And with how cold it is this morning, I am very thankful that this course gives you some warm-up holes. Oh, we hugged that inside a little bit too much, but I think we'll still be up there for a putt. We do indeed have a putt, but it is not an easy one. We were probably around 42 feet for the 2. Oh, okay. Well, at least we're starting to feel a little warmed up. One thing that I've wanted to get off my chest for a while now, okay? I don't know why it's so difficult to find decent fried rice at 7 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, that should just be a regular. The stuff that I find at the Shell gas stations just never, I don't know, it just doesn't hit the same. Hole 4, it's only 161 feet, but it is not easy. I have been mulling over this hole for a few minutes now, and I could just take my envy, throw it dead straight up there, and try to have a putt. But this tree right here, everything about it is difficult. And like I've been talking about lately, I just want to increase my skill level with my forehand. So I'm gonna try to maneuver my justice up there, hopefully leave myself a putt, and not hit this tree in front of me. Oh, not good. Not good. Too much angle. I feel like I have to, though, to avoid this big tree. You kind of gotta match the plane with it, but I don't know, just not great at it. As we saw, our tee shot there was pretty lackluster, but hopefully we can knock down this decent, probably 35-foot putt to make up for it. Alrighty, we'll take that. Hole 5, 250 feet dead straight. The basket is just sitting out there kind of lost in the shadows and in the light. Very hard to see, but we are gonna full send our envy. Wow. I don't know, that shouldn't have gone really deep, but I think it might have gone really deep. The Envy actually worked out decently. Like I said, it was there's no depth perception when you can't see the basket. Hole 6, 447 feet dead straight, but this is not something that you can just crank some huge distance driver. You don't really have room to work. You do have a tunnel that you have to follow. We have walls of trees, some of them leaking into the fairways, making it a low ceiling. This is a tough tee shot to get a lot of distance off of, but we are gonna go with our champion Boss. Oh, I was not at all warmed up for that disc. Not at all. That hurt everything. We're gonna have a long upshot. Walking up to this tee shot, I was thinking Orc, and then I was kind of eyeballing the Boss, and I was like, you know what? I'm warmed up enough for that. It'll work out fine. It didn't work out fine because we're still 120 feet-ish from the basket. Now, if you go with a hyzer approach shot, we're gonna clip those trees up there, leaving us probably a 30 to 40 foot putt. So we are going to try to avoid that, give it a nice little flick shot with our Justice. Alrighty, that's exactly what we were looking for. For the 3, I will say I've visited a lot of courses and I've seen a lot of rather silly disc chargers, but this is the first time I've seen a human charger. One size fits all. Weird, not weird. It also just says have fun. I appreciate that. You guys let me know. Weird, not weird. It's kind of weird. Hole 7, 370 feet, and I'm starting to think the low ceilings are a common theme here because we have another one, just kind of a tight shot in general, but I did walk up there and scout. If we finish off to the left, we should be fine. I am a little paranoid since I played Vicksburg. I know that there's water on this course, and I almost lost my Envy and Rhino there because I was too lazy to scout. We were gonna go with our Wraith. And, oh, not even close to keeping it low enough. My gosh, that was a bad throw. Working for it. So here we are after yet again another anticlimactic tee shot. We really have to wrangle it in and tackle these low ceilings. We have left ourselves a very long approach shot, probably around 230 feet, slight ante the entire way. Now, I've already thrown the Envy up there. I think it's a short putt. Forgot to hit record. We're definitely struggling this morning, but hopefully I can recreate it with the Rhino. Oh, of course. We caught that little branch. It's gonna be a longer putt, just a little longer, but it'll work. I don't know if you guys can see the Envy, but it is significantly closer. We are probably about 45 feet from this Rhino just to try to save our 3. Nice putt. It's the only thing that we have going for us right now. Hole 8, 236 feet, and we have a huge anhyzer or forehand shot. And like I've mentioned, even though they're short, none of these holes are easy. There's a lot of obstacles up there in the way, but we are gonna go with the Waka Waka off the tee. I hope that's really good. We are definitely hugging that inside more than I intended, but it might be what we needed to actually get to the basket. I have to assume we bounced off of a tree. I didn't hear it, but there's no way that we would finish this far off to the left. I'm super confused. If anything, I thought we crashed too early inside. It took me a while to find this, to be honest. Like, not for a second did I think this thing would be way over here, but we have left ourselves another tester, probably around 40 feet for the 2. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hole 9, 202 feet, another low ceiling ante shot. Visually, this is probably one of the coolest courses that I've ever been to. It is just so unique, every hole, and how it's all just these natural low ceilings intertwined with each other. Very, very cool, going with the Envy. Oh my gosh! One singular branch. We were hugging the ceiling. You almost have to push the ceiling on all of these holes. And one little branch hanging down I caught. Just a thunk. As you can see, we just have this wide open putt here, probably close to 65 feet. If I made it to the basket, I would be impressed with myself. This is one of the wackiest putts that I have ever stared down. Kinda. I mean, you have to go for it, right? For the par. For today's hole 9 break, I want to ask you guys a question a little outside of the disc golf world, and that is, what do you think of van lifing and would you try it? And I'm not talking about a decked out sprinter van staying at beautiful state parks kind of van life. I'm talking about mine, the nitty gritty, the 80% of nights you're waking up in a supermarket, not by choice, but because there's somebody randomly screaming outside your van at 4 a.m. The constant scrambling just to find somewhere to stay, calling all of these places, making sure that you're always near a Planet Fitness so you can get a shower, that kind of van lifing. Would you give it a shot? And also, as the season's starting to change, and if I'm able to hit the road again, if any of you guys, especially if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that for a while I did van life and disc golf vlogs. And my curiosity is, would you want to see those again? I've thought about trying to start a second channel just for van life, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think I have the time. But if the vlogs, if you guys enjoyed the vlogs and you'd like to see them again, let me know. Van lifing is not for the faint of heart. There is a lot of ups and downs, and I'm wondering, out of my viewers out there, how many of you have that dog in you? How many of you would give it a shot, jump in a vehicle, and just hit the road? And as always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please take a second, hit that subscribe button, check out the description, hop on my website if you like to check out used discs, if you want to get any merch, I would greatly appreciate it. Hole 10, 337 feet, and another sneaky one. The basket is dead straight, but you cannot see it from the tee pad. You do see that opening, and I know if I get through that last opening up there, I should have a putt. And with the low ceiling, I'm going to try to disc up in speed and go with my Leopard. Not great. Naturally, our Leopard has landed in the worst spot possible. We are on the complete other side of this big grouping of bushes and trees. So hopefully the Waka Waka is going to come around looking as gracious as ever. Big Annie shot, get near the basket, maybe go in, and the crowd will go wild. Well, not quite wild, but it got the job done. Hole 11, 372 feet. This is the first hole that I've seen this little plaque that says long position, and this is a hard pin to get to. You have to go dead straight for a long time, and then it snaps off to the right. We're not trying to do anything crazy here, just try to play standard. I'm gonna go with my Leopard. Just don't go too straight. All right, perfect. That is exactly what we were looking for. The Leopard did leave us in a great position, and hopefully the putting can come through for us one more time, but it is a long one, probably around 75 feet for the 2. Come on. Oh, not bad. Never had the height, but had a good line. For the 3. Hole 12, 448 feet. Now, I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to be shooting for off of this tee pad. I'm thinking just kind of a slight Annie the entire way. This tee pad is extremely rough, very pitted, a lot of deep pockets. They're kind of full of clay, but we are going to full send our arc. Hopefully, we just don't hear a thunk. That felt perfect. And there's that thunk. I just felt like a perfect throw. We didn't make it very far. We are absolutely dead in the water here, but I will say there is a fairway. Like, you can lace this drive pure. It's probably one of the most satisfying things in the world. And I think I was close. I think I may have put a little too much Annie on it. But honestly, from right here, I'm just gonna rip my splice out there, go for a skip shot, and hope to avoid the trees. I'm not even gonna exaggerate. I am just throwing and hoping. Oh, I hit the gap. Get up there. Oh, I hit the gap. I just immediately hit the stump of a tree right after. A little more speed and I think we would have had something cool there. We still have a long way, probably 80-ish feet to the basket. I'm gonna try to give it a long putt. I'm not sure if I can make it that far, but it's gonna take out a lot of the risk. All right, little short as expected. For the 4, one thing you have to admit is this course is absolutely gorgeous. We have all of these crazy trees growing in a million different directions, and then you have kind of your super lush grass, and then it immediately kind of hits this darker area. Probably less sunlight gets in here, but it's a really cool contrast. Really enjoyable so far. Hole 13, 350 feet, and we have found the water running down the right side of this fairway. And this ceiling is extremely low, about 200 feet up there. It's only like 7-8 feet tall. So my plan is to take my Firebird, keep it nice and low, hang it straight long enough, and hopefully get a favorable skip at the end. Sure didn't. We did catch a tree though. Look at how low this ceiling is. It's actually hitting my head. So like I said, it's about that 8-foot mark. We have left ourselves with an extremely tricky situation. We're gonna go with a big turnover sidearm shot with our hex, probably 180 feet-ish. I don't have very high expectations with this shot, but maybe we'll get lucky. Of course, we hit that low ceiling that's right in front of us. That's gonna be a long putt. Could have been worse. The hex did fight its way up here quite a bit, leaving us still a long one, probably around 50 feet for the 2. Oof, that was not a good one there. Hole 14, 336 feet. Now, I'm not entirely sure where the basket is, but I think it's dead straight. A left finish is just fine. And as you guys can see, that beautiful archway forming up there in the trees. We are gonna go with our hex. Oh, it's so straight. Get over. All right, well, dead straight shot. Still getting used to that hex. I'm liking the way that it flies. This hex got almost exactly pin high. I'm really liking the distance that I can push with this thing. We didn't quite get a strong enough left finish, but ending up 2 straight is never anything that I'll complain about. We've left ourselves probably 45 feet for the 2. Oh, our putting starting to taper off a little bit. We got to find it again so we can end strong. Hole 15, and this is the first hole that is just pure chaos. 450 feet, and it looks like you can kind of hang straight down this super, super tight tunnel through the woods, or you can try to skip, get under this extremely low ceiling off to the left, and the basket's somewhere that way. Now I'm gonna try the skip shot. I'm gonna go with my Halo Boss. I'm gonna keep it nice and low. Hopefully skip somewhere that we can just see the basket. All right. Not a ton of distance, but we actually got under the ceiling this time. As far as that tee shot was concerned, the Boss is in a perfect spot, but we still have our work cut out for us here. We have about 180, 190 feet. We do have a little tricky Annie lane that we have to go for with our Envy. Oh, I hope I didn't throw it too far. Hit the tree. Of course, that time we went right through the tree like it was an air. If it actually went down, that would have been helpful. I think we still have a putt though. I'm not gonna lie, that throw made me pretty salty. I don't mind getting my butt kicked by trees all around, but the one time they could have helped me out, it's like they didn't even exist. It's been a long time since I've gotten my butt kicked by a course and still had this much fun. This is one of the most interesting courses that I have ever played. Yes, it is pretty punishing, but all of the scramble shots are fun. They're achievable. This is just very, very unique course. Hole 16, and I'll be honest, this one feels a little gimmicky. 258 feet, there's no ceiling, giant Annie shot. Like, I think the play is to go up there. I think that's the play. Now, should I try it? Yes, I think I'm gonna try it with the P Waka Waka. I get nervous doing this with the P Waka Waka, but that has to be the play here. Look at it go. That was so cool. I don't think the camera will pick that up, but that couldn't have worked out better. Flipped up and then just dropped off to the right. Let's go see where we are. I'm curious. For the first time ever on the channel, we will be going P-walk for the tee shot and the approach shot. As you can see, we have like a crescent moon of a shot here. Very difficult ante shot to try to lay up to, and who knows, maybe something crazy will happen. You could say it's wearing on me a bit, but I'm getting better. I'm enjoying it. I'm just saying, we might as well keep the trend going. P-walk, straddle putt for the par. Perfect. Hole 17, 289 feet. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure where the basket is here, but I assume it's mostly dead straight. I think if we get a little baby ante the entire way, we should be able to find the basket pretty easily. We have been giving the hex a lot of love, but I'm gonna give this one to the crow. All right, we ended up mostly straight, stronger left finish than the hex will have. If the basket's over there, we're looking great. For all of you curious, you definitely want more of a right finish and not a left finish. We have left ourselves a long downhill putt, probably around 70 feet for the two. Too low. Too low. Tricky putts. Rounding off our very exciting day here at the Vines, we have hole 18, and it is just stunning. It's 320 feet. We have a water carry, and there's a giant wind turbine right up there in the sky. I don't know if you guys can see it. I've spent about 10 minutes trying to set up for this shot. I have the tripod balanced on my bag with other discs holding it in place, so hopefully you guys are above me and you can see all of that. If you can't, well, I tried. But we are gonna full send our Firebird. Just ace it one time. Oh, nice run. We came up a little bit short. So that wind turbine's so cool. It's like, I don't think I'll ever see that again on a tee pad. So apparently I just super noodled that. I think I was trying to move so fast because the tripod was so sketchy that I just forgot to like actually throw the disc, you know what I mean? So in classic fashion, we have left ourselves a long one, close to 50 feet. Hopefully we can end on a good note. Nope. Come on, Hunter, end on a good note. Thank you. Does that count? Does that count? I'm getting desperate to end on a good note over here, all right? Don't judge me. And that wraps up today's video at the Vines in Ithaca, Michigan. And guys, my biggest takeaway is I think this course is quite the hidden gem. I'm not sure what it is about this course that made me enjoy it so much, but one thing that definitely helped was the ease of play. This course reminds me of Ashtamo in Kalamazoo. After every tap in, every putt you make, every double bogey you sink in the basket, it is just a clean transition, an obvious path, short walk right to the next tee pad, but nobody's ever in danger of getting hit by an errant throw. The scenery needs little to no explanation. It is absolutely gorgeous. The trees just kind of doing their own thing. They're angled some ways, curved, made some very interesting shot shapes that you had to create. Obviously, this course is not a walk in the park. Some of the ceilings might be a little bit on the gimmicky side, but honestly, guys, this is one of those courses that is going to genuinely improve your game. If you're a local here, I'm sure you can knock down some pretty low scores as you get used to it. But as a passerby, this is a great one. It's really going to make you hone on things that you may have forgotten about or haven't practiced in a long time. Really aren't too many negatives to bring up here. I mean, the tee sign's useless. That's kind of been the memo over here in this part of Michigan, but the tee pads for the most part are in great shape, and the baskets although hard to see, are also in great shape. A change of color on those, some new tee signs, and a few of the tee pads be reworked, this course would be way up there. You guys saw me battling through it, so you know shot shapes are needed here. You're gonna need big annies, certain hyzers, skip shots, low ceilings, all of those unorthodox throw styles, you are gonna need to lay down a solid score. The park that this place sits on is amazing in itself. Now, it is $5 to enter during the season, but I think after Labor Day, you no longer have to pay. But there's a beautiful park, beach, fishing, volleyball, all kinds of stuff going on here for you to enjoy. Make a day trip out of it, play this course twice, spend the rest of the day doing other fun activities. Overall, I'm gonna give the Vines the probably too high of a score of 8.7 out of 10. There is just something about this course that I really enjoyed. Even getting my butt kicked, getting frustrated, I never had a bad time. I always felt like I was improving my game, working on shots, nothing ever felt too gimmicky. It just overall, the ease of play, all of that stuff just makes for a very enjoyable round. Maybe a little bias on my score because I had so much fun today, but you know what? I think that means you might too. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.